Coming up, keeping your health in check as we observe World Hypertension Day, and our children seek affirmation. Plus, experience the transformation taking place at the Jamaica Library Service. Hello, I'm Sandra Clark. Those and much more in this half hour. Thanks for making it Jamaica Magazine.
Get legal advice for free. Yes, free! From the Mobile Justice Unit. The Mobile Justice Unit makes scheduled stops in towns across the country, and the unit is open for stops at community meetings and school expos. Get free consultation on matters to do with land, immigration, divorce, job redundancy or termination, custody and maintenance. The Mobile Justice Unit, providing access to timely justice outcomes. To request a visit, contact the Legal Aid Council, 131 Tower Street, downtown Kingston, or call them at 922-3761.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, May 17. The Ministry of Health is advising the public that there are no confirmed cases of yellow fever on the island. The illness, transmitted through mosquito bites, has symptoms similar to the dengue and Zika viruses.
In the acute phase, you would have fever, headache, muscle pain, pain behind the eyes. You may get some nausea, you may get some vomiting, and you may get a redness of the eyes.
National epidemiologist at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Karen Webster-Carr, says Jamaica has been yellow fever free for over 100 years. She adds the illness is not endemic to the island and therefore would have to be imported from another country.
I must remind people, if they're traveling to places that have yellow fever, there's a yellow fever vaccine that they should get at least 2 weeks before their travel.
The Ministry of Health says yellow fever is a Class 1 notifiable disease and must be reported to the ministry within 24 hours on suspicion by a healthcare professional. No such report has been received by the Health Ministry. The Ministry of Health is reiterating the importance of personal protection against mosquito bites and mosquito control activities. The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has accepted the government's 16% wage increase over 4 years. The heads of agreement was signed on Wednesday at the Ministry of Finance. It confirms the teachers' acceptance of wage and salary contracts for the 2017-2018 to 2020-2021 period. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says the ministry is pleased to have reached an agreement with the teachers.
This government values our teachers and values the role that they play in our society. And Madam President, thank you to you and your team for the manner in which you conducted these negotiations, which were tough. You represented the views of your teachers, but we're able to make progress in a spirit of cooperation.
Meanwhile, JTA President Georgia Wall Richards says an agreement was reached after a favorable offer of improved fringe benefits.
We've listened to the voices of the teachers of Jamaica, and we've acted according to their wishes. And so we look forward to future collaborations and discussions as it relates to the well-being of the teachers of Jamaica.
Jamaica will establish the region's first cyber academy. A memorandum of understanding with Israel Aerospace Industries to build the school will be submitted to Cabinet next week for approval. Announcing plans in Parliament Tuesday, Technology Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley said the school will help the country to boost its resilience to cyber crimes. He said the institution will also help the government train and retain experts in the field.
For a country, Mr. Speaker, to be equipped to deal with the threats and associated issues with increased use of technology and the enablement, Mr. Speaker, of the development of a truly digital society, we must have qualified experts to protect our public and private sector assets.
According to Dr. Wheatley, $12.6 billion was lost to cybercriminals in 2016. The Ministries of Local Government and Agriculture have entered a $400 million partnership to develop markets across the island. Making the disclosure during his sectoral presentation in Parliament Wednesday, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie said over 50 markets will be impacted. Minister McKenzie also updated the House on works being done on markets in the financial year. He said the $300 million Falmouth market will be opened in the coming weeks, and work is to be completed on the $55.9 million Port Maria market by April 2019.
This year, phase 2 of Clarkstown market will commence at a cost of $20 million. In Hanover, the Hopewell market will be refurbished, Mr. Speaker, while in St. Andrew, the Stony Hill and Papine market will be refurbished.
Minister McKenzie says upgrades are also planned for the Santa Cruz and Charles Gordon markets. And finally, the Cumberland Road Health Center on Brunswick Avenue in St. Catherine is to receive major rehabilitation work next week as part of Labor Day activities. The Type 2 facility is one of 2 National Labor Day projects and will see its waiting area and restrooms renovated. Painting and beautification of the facility is also planned. This is welcomed news for the over 20 communities served by the health center.
There are days when you might have as many as 120 to 150 persons at the health center seeking service. This health center during last year, 2017, saw more than 12,500 patients. It mainly does maternal and child health, which is antenatal, postnatal, family planning, and we have curative clinics done on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Medical Officer for Health at the St. Catherine Health Department, Pauline Ware, was speaking at the JIS think tank on Tuesday. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
The National ID system will register your picture and fingerprint. It will not need an iris scan unless you don't have a fingerprint, and will only take a footprint if you can't give an iris scan or a fingerprint. This will help people with disabilities to get a national ID. NIDS is about inclusion, not exclusion, protecting the rights of all Jamaicans. Get the facts at nidsfacts.com.
Our children have the right to be heard. They have desires, hopes, and dreams, one of which is to excel academically. And so this Child Month, they are expressing the need to be affirmed by educators.
How many is that? 20. All right, so of my population, we have strongly agree. So let's count up all the persons who agree over here. Count 10 plus 2, 12 persons agree. Everybody understands what was taught a while ago about interconnection?
It's important that our teachers ensure that we understand the work so that when we go home, we can be able to study it on our own so we can get better grades or good grades on our tests so that we can get something.
It makes me feel very happy to know that there is a teacher who might tell me if I do not understand.
Assurance means so much to our children. It's motivation for them to perform at their very best, even right here in the classroom. And my little friends, Miracle, Alyssa, Rihanna, and Latanya will agree as I ask them this very important question. Why do you want your teacher to make sure that you are learning?
Because in our future, we'll have to get some good careers and it will mess us up. For instance, if you're going to be a chef, you got to learn what ingredients to use and what to not use.
As Miracle said, it's will interfere with our future if we don't get a good education or not. So it is very important for our teachers to teach us so that it doesn't interfere with our careers and our future.
Affirm me that I can learn.
What do you want from your teacher?
Like her attitude is supposed to be good. So if I say I don't understand and she's doing it over and over again and she like be making up her face, I like her to work on her attitude. Well, I would like her to work on the way she explains it because it would be nice if they would go a little slower and go through it with us so that we can get to understand it properly. Affirm me so that I can learn.
Ms. Thomas, you heard the students. They say they want teachers to explain more to them. They want them to don't speak too soft or too harsh to them to make sure that they are learning. What do you say to that?
First and foremost, I do believe, like the children, that teachers have to be patient. And even though somebody may be a very good student in one subject area, they may not be a very good student in another subject area. And secondly, explanation is part of the curriculum.
What are some of the things that you do? What are some of the methods that you use as a teacher to make sure that your students are learning?
Some students understand quicker, some don't, so we can pair them up with those who don't understand, because sometimes peer learning is better than even us explaining. But I find that they understand better and they understand longer, so they remember longer when they work on it themselves, and it is the same for us as adults. So the confidence that they have help them to develop and want to learn more, even if the topic is something that they didn't like in the first place.
It is good to know that you have somebody that you can go to that is willing to help you to understand what is being taught. Affirm me so that I can learn. I feel good when my teacher gives me good comments on my work.
Like, keep it up. Good job. And those are some compliments that will motivate children as they go on in life.
I will continue to affirm my students that their learning benefits them.
Affirm me that I can learn.
The Jamaica Library Service, through its partners in the Westmoreland Division, has been able to create an experience with a difference for those accessing its service in the parish. It has given the title library a new meaning.
A stone's throw from the Caribbean Sea is the Negril Branch Library. Picturesque, warm, tranquil, a haven for the community in this busy tourism mecca in Westmoreland. Bringing together children and adults alike, the library provides the place and space to fulfill educational and recreational needs. These services can be accessed throughout the entire Westmoreland Parish Library Network.
The Westmoreland Parish Library Network has 8 libraries, branch libraries, 1 major library, 1 mobile library service. We have 5 full-time libraries, 3 part-time libraries.
The Negril Branch Library has developed a strong network which has resulted in several partnerships which enhances the service capacity. Through partnership with the Rock House Foundation, the physical structure of the library has been transformed and crucial resources have been provided to strengthen its impact on the community.
We've expanded the library from what was originally 500 square feet in the front to a little less than 4,000 square feet. I think that it stands up to standards of a public library anywhere in the world. It's become an enticing physical environment. People like to be here. And that was one of our objectives in creating the library so that it would be an enticing kind of place for both children and adults.
The Friends of the Library Committee is working to ensure that concerted and consistent steps are taken to promote the importance of the library service, primarily among the youth.
The objective is really just to make the library better, right? More efficient, more available to the kids in the neighborhood, to promote this idea that the library is a place where the kids can come. It's fun. Learning is fun. I'm inspired by Marcus Garvey, who says, "Intelligence rules the world. Ignorance carries its burden." This library is a testament to beating back ignorance.
In engaging its members and users, the library is cultivating an appreciation for technology through the Global Libraries ICT project.
The Westmoreland Parish Library Network received 60 computers from the Global Libraries ICT project, 2 laptops for the mobile library service. At the Negril Branch Library, we got 5 of those computers here. We use them for social media training, homework assistance, and the tech club.
The integration of technology is transforming the way how all users, young and old, interface with the various programs and services being offered at the library.
I am so proud to know at my age, at 72, I am doing computer. You can't tell how proud I am to be a part of the senior citizen computer class.
The children enjoy the Tiny Tots section where they come and they will select various books, especially interactive books. They enjoy, even though some of them might not be familiar with the words in the book, but the pictures are very bright and colorful, and so they will tend to look at the pictures and make up their own stories based on the characters they see in the story.
While building technological knowledge, there are other means to build the recreational needs of library members.
We also do performing arts. It is still one of the top activities that the library has to offer.
The Negril Branch Library's ongoing process of transformation and innovation ensures open access to information and lifelong learning.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
I said be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Sexual abuse is always a very difficult thing to confront, particularly when the alleged victim is a child. Parents, if it is that you suspect that your child has been sexually abused or is in a vulnerable set of circumstances where an abuse may occur, we encourage you to have dialogue with your child. Take the child to the pediatrician who normally attends to the child. If there is no such pediatrician, take your child to the clinic, to the hospital, to some medical practitioner who can do an assessment for you. It's very important as well that we don't just look at the physical side, but we also seek to find the kind of psychosocial support that a child may need. Does the child need a session with a counselor? Does the child need to speak with a pastor who is used to dealing with these issues? Does the child need to get that ongoing psychological support to assist with the healing process and also to assist the child in becoming strong enough, as it were, to deal with the various processes that will follow once it is that you suspect an abuse has occurred? If it is that the child actually discloses when you engage the child in discussion that, yes, mommy and daddy, I was abused, we encourage you to entertain the child, to listen to what the child has to say to you, and to take it very seriously. So we really urge you to have those discussions and to seek guidance in terms of, do I speak to the police about this, which we always say you have to, because once a child has been sexually abused, it's a criminal matter, and it means that once at all possible, the child should be assisted to go through the processes so that the perpetrator can in fact be held accountable. Support your child and let them understand in very clear terms that they are not the cause or the reason for this abuse having been perpetrated. But the most important element is to support them, get them access to the services that they need, and give them a chance to have you give them that listening ear. For these tips and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm. Thank you.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to me sister, cause she could be the next prime minister.
Do you know why they say high blood pressure is a silent killer? Well, one reason is the fact that there are at times no symptoms. So whether you are hypertensive or not, get your pressure checked regularly. It's World Hypertension Day. The experts have more on this important topic.
Blood pressure. The pressure put on the walls of our blood vessels as the heart pumps blood through them. Doctors say blood pressure can be high or low, depending on how fast or slow the heart beats. Your heart rate slows down when you rest and speeds up when you're excited or worried, pushing up your blood pressure. But there are other factors that can cause your blood pressure to rise, even to dangerous levels.
If your blood pressure rises and stays high over time, your doctor will tell you you have high blood pressure, also known as hypertension.
Hypertension or high blood pressure is known as a silent killer because you really don't have any symptoms.
Medical experts say hypertension is a serious condition that can lead to heart disease and other health problems.
The effect of blood pressure in the heart is that it affects the muscle, the left side of the heart, the left ventricle. That is what pumps the blood around the body. After it goes through the various stages, the left ventricle pumps the blood out. When we have high blood pressure, the heart is put under pressure to force the blood out much more than it would when your blood pressure was normal. And the left side of the heart gets stretched out.
One of the dangers of hypertension is that you can have it for years and not know it because there are no symptoms. During this time, it can damage your heart, blood vessels, kidneys, and other organs.
When we look at worldwide mortality, the single leading cause of worldwide mortality is uncontrolled hypertension. Somewhere between 25 to 28% of them never knew they were hypertensive.
Unfortunately, in Jamaica, there's about 25% of our population that studies have shown that suffer from high blood pressure. But worse than that, 50% of those persons are unaware that they have high blood pressure.
The greatest thing is to know that you are hypertensive. But if there are no symptoms, how can you know?
Frequent blood pressure checks, says Deborah Chen.
And also, don't do it once for your life and you're finished. You really should have it checked regularly, because you may be okay today and over a period of time, you know, it develops. Most of the high blood pressure, it is of unknown origin. You know, it could be that it runs in the family and so on. But there are risk factors for high blood pressure.
Aging, drinking more than 2 alcoholic drinks a day for men or more than 1 drink for women. Eating too much sodium or salt. Being overweight or obese. Having high levels of cholesterol. Not exercising, being under a lot of stress, and eating a diet low in potassium, magnesium, and calcium.
High blood pressure cannot be cured, but it can be treated and controlled. So when you have high blood pressure, and let us say your doctor decides that you're at the point where you do need to go on medication, you need to stay on the medication for the rest of your life.
Medical experts say high blood pressure cannot be cured, so the best option for the hypertensive is to keep the blood pressure in a healthy range. You can do that by getting your blood pressure checked regularly, eating a healthy diet, maintaining a healthy weight, staying physically active, limiting alcoholic drinks, not smoking, and preventing or treating diabetes.
An age group, say age 30 years and over, about 30 out of every 100 such persons have hypertension. If the hypertension is treated, then your risk from disease resulting from hypertension is considerably reduced.
The key to successful treatment of high blood pressure is making lifestyle changes and, if necessary, drug therapy. Doctors say high blood pressure is not a death sentence if you detect and treat it early.
And if you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, remember to check your doctor regularly to test your pressure. And take your medication if you have to. Remember, untreated hypertension is a silent killer.
Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
We've come to the end of our show, but certainly not the end of our connection. Just click on our website, jis.gov.jm, and while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. Join us again tomorrow for another informative show. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Sandra Clark. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.